Hi guys, I wanted to do a little video today to talk about the what ifs, because so many of you are struggling with what I call this mental vice, that is paralysis by analysis. So overthinking, overworking, over rationalizing, over planning, over everything, and just forgetting that you can't just trust the universe when things go right, because that's just like picking and choosing faith. So you have to trust the universe in everything. And that's kind of my challenge for you at the moment is, can you just fully place all your trust in the universe? We talk about it a lot. There's a huge wave of communication now about collective energy, being in flow on purpose, owning your truth, being courageous, stepping out of fear and into fearlessness and backing yourself. We've got so much information on the internet, on Instagram, wherever you look. It's all about motivation, courage, inspiration, choice, and how to overcome adversity, especially with some of the decisions that are being made around us that are out of our control. So the biggest challenge is actually not just to say those words like follow your heart, it knows the way, trust your inner GPS, it's got the best guidance, connect with yourself, get grounded. How do you actually do that? And how do you actually consistently do that? It's okay to do it for a couple of days maybe, and then you fall off the wagon, or you forget to do the work, which is really being conscious. So most of the time when we're subconscious running, we're just on autopilot. So you probably just get through your day and you go through your activities and you look up and you're like, oh, I didn't even know what I did or how I got. It's like driving to a destination and suddenly you're there and you don't really remember the journey along the way. So that's super dangerous, and most people are like that in their lives. But if you notice on all the Instagram stories about mindset and overcoming, I kind of think the depressed nature of being stuck and feeling like you're out of control, especially with lockdown and COVID and everyone being forced to think what is really important in my life, then the next thing to do is to go, okay, so I start believing faith, I start to figure out my why, I start to figure out what motivates me, what my vital ingredients are. I'm going to get in the driver's seat. You can't just say that and then opt off course and get in the passenger seat when it gets bumpy. You have to stay committed to trusting the process. You have to stay committed to following your heart and following your gut and being fearless. So all the high performing people I work with, if you think about all the really successful people in life, usually they're criticized for being single-minded or for being selfish, or I don't know, like everyone, it's easy to stand by and criticize someone else that's doing well with fierce determination. But what if you took all that information, that's right, Paul, what if you took all that information and all that kind of criticism and you thought, well, hold on a second, shouldn't we be celebrating anyone that has the courage to go after what they want? Not because of the accolades, not because of the validation, not because of the number of likes, but a true drive and purpose to do something that lights your heart up regardless of what anyone else thinks. That is when you're in flow, and then you can't wobble. So when you get the speed wobbles, it's like when you're going on a motorbike on a racetrack, you don't lean out of the corner. You have to lean into the corner. But most of the time people get a really, really good start at things. As soon as it gets a bit scary or they get a little bit of a tight corner, or you feel like you've got the speed wobbles, you automatically put the brakes on or you lean out of the corner. And the universe is going, you can't say you trust me, but then you renege and go back to kind of three-dimensional functional thinking, which is, oh my God, this is going to go wrong, fear of failure, blame, shame, guilt, whatever else. It comes raging in like a subconscious handbrake, and it stops you from going to that next level. So when you're embarking on what I call this fearless purposeness, whether it's in relationships or work, or at the moment I'm getting all my clients to do a limitless or a freedom Pinterest board. So just do a Pinterest board with everything on it, work, personal, just your ideal time, that basically anything could be possible. So write that Pinterest board, draw it up and go, this is my freedom board. And then what's interesting is a lot of people have all these lifestyle things on there, and they have partnership and romance and family, but they forget that work can also be fun, because if you find what you really love to do, then it's not really hard work. I know we're just seemingly being told that, but that is about trusting the process again. So you kind of got to unprogram yourself by being aware of your subconscious. If you listen to Eckhart Tolle, Dr. Joe Dispenza, everything, we've got so much neuroplasticity. You're not forced to sit in your mental prison. You've just got to understand that ego. You can have a look at my blog post, Your Ego is Not Your Amigo, or go onto my podcast. because that saboteur, that subconscious handbrake, is just trying to keep you stuck in the walls of familiarity, because that's what you know. So any great Red Bull athlete, any great rally driver, any great Formula One driver, anyone that does anything like, dives with sharks, does things that are like completely crazy, but for the betterment of what really makes their heart sing, they have to be fearless. And they can't put the handbrake on when it really matters. And that's what determines good from great, is you just have to lean into the corners. And you have to trust the universe all the time. Thanks, Paul. You have to trust the universe when it's shit and when it's good. Because you can't just go, oh, this is really good. I got a bunch of flowers today and it seems really great. I really love the universe. And then a friend of mine, is getting his car towed, hi Clint. And basically he's like, I hate the universe, it's not delivering. You can't choose when you want to trust the universe. You have to be in flow all the time. And a little piece de resistance for information. Let me give you an analogy. If you're having a wall and it's had those bricks and they have all the holes in it, and you've got your manifestations, and you go, this is what I really want. This idea, this framework, this visual reference, this really resonates with me. It's relevant to me. But if I was unfiltered and I could say, Nikki, these are the things that really light me up. These are my vital ingredients. This is my ideal life. I'm going to put this blueprint together and I'm going to put it up on the wall. And you've got all these gaps because you don't know how you're going to get there. The difference is this time, stop filling the gaps. Allow your intent to be set up there and then just do one next step towards that goal. That's why there's a power of a 90-day plan. Where do you want to be in 90 days time from that? So when you set intents for the universe, you can't plug all the holes up and try and control everything. You have to be trustful of the process. And the way to do that is making sure that the things that you want to manifest, the things that you want to be fearless about, you're really passionate about. Because when you're passionate about something, you'll fight for it. When you're passionate about something, you don't need to over-explain why it's important to you. You just know. And that's the difference between saying that you trust something and really going for it. You just can't not do it. You just have to give it a go. And you don't even know why. But you don't even know how you're going to get there. You just know that it's really, really important. And that kind of energy, that's right, the supply chain. That's right, man. It's all reciprocal energy. And that kind of energy is you just take one step and the universe will meet you the next way. Then you do the next best step. But over time, we've been programmed that we have to have all the dominoes lined up before we can press start, right? And that's where danger exists, because we have to be agile. Life is not linear. It's not one runway. It's not one lane. It's not one set of tracks in the sand. It's whatever you want it to be, because it's limitless and it's infinite. That's what makes it quantum. But the problem is, in society, we're so busy putting a framework, an idea, a construct, a rule, and usually it's driven by lack, fear, blame, shame, or guilt. It's like, it's okay to be super successful, but only if you do this. At the end of the day, you've really got to be careful about what you define your success is. And you've got to be fearless about going after things that truly make your heart sing. Because when you do that, then you're going to connect and align your head and your heart. But if you're only making manifestations, and if you're only putting goals in place because you think you should be doing it, or someone else has inspired you to do it and it doesn't resonate in here, you're not going to follow it through. So be fearless in trusting your universal purpose. Give the universe time to meet you halfway with what you've put out there. Take the pressure off yourself, take the foot off the accelerator and find your glide. And that means trusting in the corners, in the road bumps, in the wobbly moments, just as much as when you're in the celebration moments. Because, adulting the rally of life, life is like a rally. And that's what makes it so magical. It's the bumps in the road. It's the bits where you're fearless anyway. It's the bit you're all in, 100%. I mean, you're speaking my language, Paul, exactly. So when you're all in, then the universe is all in with you. And fundamentally, if you strip everything back in life, really the only purpose of all of this is joy. Really it is. There is no good thing on the universe that wants anyone to suffer, that wants anyone to feel suppressed or insignificant or unsafe. So if you reverse psychology, all of that, the only point to all of this is making sure that you do everything with love, whether that's a business transaction or it's how you show up in a partnership. If you bring your full self to that, you really can't lose, because then your frequency will radiate out and attract that's right for you. And we're all different. So if you can find your fearlessness and the courage to define what really lights you up, then you have to be prepared to go for it. You have to be prepared to go through the wobbles, to go through the speed bumps, to articulate when you're scared, but not let that hold you back. So it's okay to stand on the edge of a cliff, you're about to do a free dive or a bungee jump, and go, this is really scary, but I'm going to do it anyway. And that's the whole point, and that's that little place there where the magic lies. That's the mojo, right? It's the difference between feeling the fear and going, I can't do it, I'd rather stand back, at least I know all this shit that I've got, or letting all of that baggage go and saying, I'm going to be fearless. Because what's the worst that can happen? I mean, you've got to give life a go. Both hands on the steering wheel, in the driver's seat, hop off autopilot, and you've got to learn to trust the universe, not only in the good times, but in the times when you least expect that it's there for you. So that's the time when the universe really shows up, because it's testing you. It's going, how much does Nikki really want this? How much is she really committed to her truth? So when you keep following through, and when you keep your eyes on the road, and you're always looking for opportunities, and you know where you're heading, then what happens along the way is just part of the journey. It's not blocks, it's just challenges and lessons and learnings, and it's what makes it so enriching, and it's what allows you to get to know yourself. So the reason I put this video up today, because I think everyone's a bit scared, you know, they don't feel like they've got any control. They don't, everyone says go and be fearless, but they're kind of judged when they are. There's no normal. So everything they used to hang on to has kind of been ripped away. So if you turn around and you see that as an opportunity to step back, I call it blurring the background, like on the Zoom calls when everyone blurs their background out. Why don't you take a moment to blur the background out and go, wow, this could be an opportunity where I really get to design the script, the life I want, to find my freedom, to find my happiness, to find my fearlessness, and think, what are all the brilliant pieces of me that I want to bring into this world? Hey Carly, I love your new baby, congratulations. And to give yourself permission to keep evolving, you know, and that is all you need to do. I said this last time on my Instagram video. You know, Einstein said that life's like a bicycle. You have to keep moving to keep momentum or you'll fall over. So don't stay stuck because you're afraid of what you don't know, because that's the magical part of where all the opportunities are, and the love, the excitement, the challenge, the rewards, the stories, and the enrichment of what makes this. Absolutely. You know, I call it, you know, if you've got atmosphere, you got to break through the atmosphere, and you kind of got to go into space, and then when you're in space, there's all this noise when a rocket goes off and it breaks through the atmosphere, and then it's just this quiet. I mean, I haven't done it, but I think metaphorically we've done it so many times in our lives. You get all this noise and all this angst, but you do it anyway, and then you break through the atmosphere and you find this peace and this calm and this wonder, and you see this galaxy in front of you, and all the stars that you've been thinking about, they all line up and they make this incredible constellation that's your life. And if you can see the beauty in all the imperfections, then you're really onto something. So whilst you might feel afraid, and whilst I've been watching all my friends in America and even, you know, in Europe with everything going on, there is so much fear rippling through our society. It takes each of us as individuals to be grounded in ourselves and to choose curiosity over fear, to choose gratitude over lack, to choose healthy love over need and possessiveness and obsessiveness. Because we don't own anyone. You only have to be accountable for your own side of the street. So my challenge to you in the next few days, take it a week, take it an hour, take it 7 days. What would you do if you could just be fearless? If there was nothing that could go wrong? If you just decided to set your coordinates on having the most awesome life, on fully showing up as yourself, on fully loving like it was the most magical gift you could ever have in every area, how would you operate? What would you say to people? How would you treat your body? You know? Don't wait for yourself to lose weight. You don't lose anything. You gain your health. You embody what you want to be now. So the only philosophy is I am. I'm healthy, I'm wealthy, and I'm wise. And there's your constant commitment and evolution to really being in this rally of life, all conditions, in all seasons. And then no matter what happens, you like pick yourself up out of the quicksand and you go, holy shit, that was amazing, let's do it again. So for all of you out there, you know what I'm talking about. We've all had to pick ourselves up, dust off the dirt, the mud, the debris, you know, fix the wheel again, look under the hood, check out your engine, but make sure that you embrace this rally of life, because really there is no time like the present. So stop wishing time away and waiting for something to happen before you start living it, and be fearless in the now. And no matter what is going on around you, it calls for you to be even more present, because we might not be able to change what's happening in politics as much as we want. We might not be able to change what happens at our kids' schools when we're not around. Or I can't maybe take Roxy's arthritis away from her. But what I can do is show up and do the very best in the day for the people that I love, for the clients that I love, and for all those people that are in my ecosystem, and most importantly for myself. So I challenge you to be fearless, to choose curiosity above it, to let go of the walls of comfort and realize that you can never really fail, because you're still here, right? So all the time we think the worst thing that's happened, the next day we get up and we're going to be okay. And that's all you need to know. And trust in the universe. It really has your back, but it can't just trust when the good times. You have to trust in the universe in the shitty times as well, because that's when it really matters. And that's where the thrill is, and that's where the greatest learning and greatest growth is, and that's really get to know yourself and become the superpowered individual that you're meant to be. So if you want some help with this, you know you can reach out. Hop onto YouTube, Vitality Coach TV, the Mojo Maker podcast. Come hang out on my Instagram. I'll hop over to the blog. Hi, Alyssa. And most importantly, this isn't your first rodeo, and life isn't a dress rehearsal. So show up, suit up. I can't wait for the book Adulting the Rally of Life to be out. Like it's almost here in my hot little hands. And hi, Roxy, come on. So I think what's really important is you just freaking love it. The good, the bad, the ugly, all of it, because it makes us all who we are today. And I'm going to try and, Roxy, you're not in frame. The dog wants to get on. And I hope that this has inspired you to be a little bit fearless, to let go of feeling like you're going to fail, and to maybe realize that your light might inspire someone else's. But most important, put your oxygen mask on first. And please know that you have to trust all the time, even when it's the hardest to do so, because you're really supported and there's a reason that you're here. So blur out the background noise, get committed to what really makes your heart sing, and show up for yourself, right? No more autopilot. I'd love to hear how you're going with that. If you've got any questions before I log off, just leave a little comment and I'll ask you questions. But this is just a super quick video because I know people are afraid, and with all the great quotes that are running around the internet and all the great motivational videos, the only thing that will really change is when you decide to make it an inside job and show up for yourself and go, wow, I'm just going to choose to embrace this rally of life and to give it a go, because what could possibly go wrong if I'm committed to being my personal best and enjoying every moment. And so thanks for hanging out. I hope this helped. A little bit of a little ramble as usual, but I just think that we need to know that we care. I mean, I certainly care about you, and I think you've probably got people that care about you too. You're not alone, and chances are, 3, 4, 5 people around you are feeling just as lost and confused. But if you can blur the background, slow everything down, listen to yourself, and stop chasing validation, chasing certification, chasing acknowledgement, it's already there. And then all of a sudden you have the freedom to truly embrace this rally. And I think then you're limitless, and then you have quantum leaps, because you can make decisions and you're grounded and you're not afraid. And when you're not afraid, a whole new world opens up. So go with curiosity, be courageous, dare to define, and just embrace all the conditions. And remember, fear is one thing that keeps everybody stuck, and there's a reason for that. You don't grow if you're staying in fear. So choose growth, choose trusting in all conditions, and choose yourself. I'd love to hear what you're going to pledge to yourself to be fearless in, whether it's a relationships, work, fitness, whatever else. But please stop putting these criticisms and expectations on yourself for perfection, because that's just not what life's about. Life's about this glorious kind of untapped resource of all the foibles and all the magic. We just let go of trying to hang on to everything. So thank you so much, guys. Limitless, that's right. So any questions? If you're hanging on here, does anyone have any questions for me that I'll quickly answer? It's been great to hang out. I hope you like these little videos. I just want to send you like an abundance of, I know it's going to sound really corny, but just like total effortless, unconditional love. I think we need more of that. And you know, you can work really hard and long hours, but if you love it, it's effortless, right? So just be you, and don't worry about what anyone else is doing. You don't need their validation. You're missing the point. You need to think, how can I be the best? How can I be the best version of myself? Because when you do that, holy cow, you show up for other people like the brightest star for them, and you have the energy for them as well. So I think if you're a family person, or you have a partnership, or you're a leader, you know, you've really got to make sure that your essence and your cup is full, and that you're leading by example. So don't preach, practice. Have a great day, guys. I like seeing your face too, beauty. And I'll see you on Monday, Elisa. And everyone have a fabulous Thursday, or whenever you're watching this, because I'll put it on YouTube, Vitality Coach TV as well. But the most important thing is trust all the time. And if you need help with that, DM me, leave me a comment, email me, nikki@thevitalitycoach.com.au. Get a copy of Adulting, the Rally of Life, because it's all about how to access that inner GPS and the 7 checkpoints to do that. And Roxy and I wish you a fabulous day, whatever time this is. So until next time, thanks for joining in. It's been really cool to meet you all. Hi, Brooke. And I just want to say thank you for kind of being part of this. And I just be fearless. That's about it, really. Okay, have a great day. And as always, go check out the Mojo Maker podcast. And I'd love it if you pre-ordered it, Adulting, the Rally of Life, because there is really a roadmap for sustainable success, and it doesn't have to be difficult. Okay, see you later.